you by visitlauderdale.com. Today's show is brought to you by Even Keel Fish Shack.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Happy Wednesday, everybody, and happy, it almost feels like the beginning of fall. Wow. Unofficially, officially it was last month, but welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. I'm Mike Mayo, joined by Jeff Defo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz, and we're coming to you live today from beautiful downtown Lauderdale by the Sea on the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard, our friends at Even Keel Fish Shack. And look what they prepared for us, Defo. This
is all you. It's so funny.
Concoctions here.
What isn't in this Bloody Mary? Now, I know you had the beef with Houston's, and that's unfortunate that you still have tagged them as losers since they wouldn't give you a Bloody Mary. But I buy your rationale, but this looks spectacular, Mike Mayo. As your Mr. Food critic, put your hat on and rate this thing, man, because this drink I have over here is just simplicity. I don't want to be like a schnorrer and order something fancy like you guys, so I have a vodka grapefruit here, and you could light a match in front of my face here, and this is a generous pour, so that must be wicked.
I wouldn't want to keep any kind of lit flames around either this drink, your breath, or Jimmy Johnson's hair, and I'm looking forward to getting down there hopefully in a couple of weeks.
No,
We're
you're going to love it.
Rolling
You're
on
going to
the
love it.
Lunchbox these days, and coming to you streaming on the South Florida Live networks, simulcast on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group. We're zeroing in on 91,000.
Wow.
That's crazy.
What happens when you break 100? Do you lose the page? That's usually the way Zuckerberg works.
I don't know. It's going to be a little bit interesting. But
Go back to zero.
Let's Eat South Florida. We keep growing like a weed.
Yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned because one of my beefs with the group is the negativity, which I guess maybe I set the tone.
You are lighting the spark there.
And as opposed to just saying,
you're the Herschel Walker of this group.
Exactly.
Just saying, wow, look at this wonderful garnished drink that Brad and crew prepared on a weekday at Even Keel.
I don't know if the people can get the full spectrum of what's on top here.
I'm going to tell you what's in here. But
they're like two giant shrimp in there.
He got special garnishes, and we've got the salted Old Bay rim.
Right.
We've got the Bloody Mary mix, which it's very spicy today, which
Nice. Brad doesn't mess around. Yeah.
Absolutely love. Adore that. We got the celery stalk, and the thing is, they always peel their celery stalks here, which makes for easy consumption. Now he's got
you don't get that stringy stuff in your teeth there, and you got to floss.
It's not. I don't think it's candied bacon, but it is premier bacon coming from Tennessee. Benton's Ham and Farms. They make quality pork products, and they use that here at Even Keel because they're all about quality.
Yeah,
at Even Keel Fish Shack, and of course we've got a little skewer with a beautiful spiced Old Bay shrimp. So this is one of those kind of meals in a glass. Yeah. It's one shrimp. They had a couple more.
It's a nice size shrimp, though.
Are you going to complain about?
No. I thought there was another one. I was actually amazed. I was like, how do you fit two shrimp in there?
Let's see. South Florida is over there. If you want to register a complaint,
I have zero complaints. I'm not a Bloody Mary guy. Yeah.
But you, of course, have to bring up the negative and rekindle all the old memories about that place that's up in Pompano.
That's not me. It was only a matter of time since you did it.
For some reason, doesn't want to prepare a Bloody Mary in the middle of the week because they're too precious to get their Bloody Mary mix together on a weekday because God knows that nobody ever is on vacation or just retired and lounging and drinking in
the weekdays
South Florida.
And the weekends are the same here. A lot of bartenders, I do notice this, a lot of bartenders, including one of our good friends at Gulfstream Park, take tremendous pride in the way they make a Bloody Mary.
Yeah,
I mean, there seems to be, a whole chef kind of pride thing in mixing this type of drink up.
Well, those are like two big things down here in South Florida.
But the Bloody Mary there, of course, they They take great pride in a lot of different
Because the
bartenders.
mixes and this and
Like
that.
I make the best Bloody Mary or whatever. You'll
It's
hear
like
that
a big
lot.
deal.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that everybody can put their own spin on it.
Yep.
I happen to make a great one at home, but I use Clamato, which technically is a Bloody Caesar, not a Bloody Mary.
You're the one guy that buys that at the store?
I love Clamato, and I love making my spicy Bloody Caesar Bloody Marys at home.
All right.
This bacon, by the way, is absolutely fantastic. The one I make at home, I use a little bit of. I'm not going to give all my secrets.
What's the
Everybody has their own.
technique, though?
Let me-
Do you blend it in, or do you eat the stuff first? Because you have 3 olives on here that look nice.
My technique.
And
Yeah,
they
no,
might
you know
even,
what?
are those laced
I
with?
took a bite of the pork because I just can't resist a good.
Because you're a good Jewish boy.
Yeah, it's,
Brooklyn.
it's the kosher pork.
No
the
one's
one
buying
that
it.
my
Mayo's
friend
Jewish.
Bill always brought
It's
into
the
the
turkey
synagogue
bacon,
before
yeah.
Hebrew school. I'm going to start with my vegetables. I'll have an olive. And
Okay,
I'll-
but let me ask you, okay,
Yeah.
because I'm not, and Defo and I were talking about that. Neither of us are huge Bloody Mary fans. So since you do like it, why with the garnishes? Like, I don't know, what is the connection to the shrimp and the olives? I get what drinks fine, but the shrimp, like, where does the shrimp come from that they start putting that into a Bloody Mary? Like, why?
if you want some serious food history, I would suggest going to the Google pages, but
well,
I
you're
can
usually
make
good
something
about
up.
stuff. I don't know.
Or you could become Bob Costas and just start spewing history out about a drink.
Back in 1939 with the Gas House Gang, and one of the players, who was it? Not Ty
Well,
Cobb,
Mordecai Brown made a catch.
Mordecai Brown.
With 3 fingers.
Heavy drinker.
How
Him and
did he
Babe
do it?
Ruth, they used to just knock down
It
the
was
whiskey
great,
by
man.
the 5th before the game, before the 5th inning,
And
and
then-
then. One time
Ron
they
Darling
were
would say-
having the Bloody Mary, and he said, "How about let's make it a meal?
Yeah.
Let's throw in a bunch of vegetables and shrimp."
Ron Darling would say, yeah, that was a slider, Bob. And then he would go back onto the whole diatribe, man. It was unbelievable.
Hey, look, Costas was taking a lot of heat, but to his credit, when Cleveland came back and had that dramatic 9th inning victory
Yeah.
the other day, he did a Vin Scully, and he just shut up for about a solid 2 minutes.
That was
and
the only
watched-
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Darling like bound and gagged him and made him.
There were a lot of complaints about when Francesa is outing you as being a schlubberfritz. That really is low end. I tried to listen last night, and I'm a Costas fan. I always thought he was outstanding.
I like him on
Yeah.
base.
Yeah,
I was
Bob
comforted.
Costas.
There's certain things that give me comfort as
Yeah.
we get older, and it
Great
seems
voice, too. I
like the
mean,
world
great
keeps
voice.
changing. And yeah, okay, he might be a little bit rusty off his play-by-play, but
He's been doing play-by-play.
no, he came
That's a
back this
misnomer.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing play-by-play.
Did a lot of games.
Starting, this summer when the games started being shown on TBS, TNT,
MLB Network. He
No,
was doing
MLB
a lot.
Network.
Right,
I don't think
MLB.
it does
He
TBS.
was doing that
MLB
steadily.
Network.
He was doing that last year.
and
Doing it for a
you know,
while.
Yeah.
there's certain things to me that okay, even if he's off his game a little bit, I'm soothed and comforted when I hear Al Michaels calling
I know,
the
Defo's
sport.
not.
I'm soothed and comforted
So
by.
I take exception with Michael's
He's
line
not the
because I
biggest
know he
Michaels
wrote,
fan.
do you believe in miracles on his sleeve? And he was praying by some outside ridiculous chance
That's
that
some
they would
crazy
beat the
stuff
Russians
happened.
who just creamed them 10-3 at Madison Square Garden the night before that they pull this off.
Well, it was a classic signature call up in Lake Placid, and
Everybody tried to imitate that after. They were always
Yeah.
trying to come up with something. Oh, my God.
but,
that kind of
his
thing.
voices remain through the years. I'm comforted
Costas
hearing.
is great. No
I'm
question.
comforted hearing Costas on baseball. I was comforted every time I heard Marv Albert doing basketball.
Yeah,
Marv's great. Yeah.
Not so much when
Even
he's in the
senile
hotel
Marv.
room with
No,
his
he-
pink panties.
See, there you go. You
Jesus.
talk about me
But you
being
didn't have
negative.
to
You
do
find the
that.
one indiscretion the guy
You
had
didn't have
in a
to do
brilliant year career.
Yeah, exactly. 80.
A little bit
You got
kicky.
dirt on Scully, you're like Dan Snyder. Unbelievable.
No, but the other comforting voice, like when I hear and see Ted Koppel, who does now some work for
I love
CBS,
Koppel,
on
yeah,
the morning,
yeah.
I mean, this is like it brings me back to a time when the media
weren't
was
as insane.
respected. There was
They
a
made
voice
Koppel
of
do the whole
authority.
show, though. Did you notice that? I saw a little of that Sunday morning news show.
Yeah,
Koppel was substituting and
for Jane Pauley.
yeah,
Jane Pauley does the hosting now. and
She
she's
does a good job on that. I like Jane Pauley, but and I didn't necessarily wasn't a fan of hers overwhelmingly so when she was on today. But Koppel I always liked, because I actually was watching live when he did that Campanis interview, and I couldn't believe like how Campanis was walking into a left hook from Alexis Arguello here. And I don't think he really
tried.
meant what he was saying. I just don't even think he knew what he was saying. Which is unfortunate that he ended up his career in disgrace.
He was a big boy, and I don't know if he was getting a little bit on the what do
He
we
was
call
older.
the
senility was setting in, no
senility
doubt about
or,
it. Yeah,
what do we
yeah.
call dementia now, but it was unfortunate to watch. He walked into it, especially a guy who was instrumental in the integration with
Jackie Robinson.
Jackie
Yeah.
Robinson.
Yeah,
So,
he was there.
and he was a forerunner, you could say, both with Jackie Robinson's integration and also with being canceled before cancel culture was a thing. So
he was the first to go. And if he hadn't watched the Superstars where they dumped Joe Frazier in the swimming pool and he sank to the bottom, he never would have gone to the, African Americans are not buoyant thing. And that's what led him down a sort
I
of
don't know how we
slippery
got
slope.
here from there, but
We're talking announcing, yeah.
even and
we're here having a good time.
We're having a good time.
Yeah.
And talking about dulcet tones and classic announcers, you, my friend, Jeff
What?
DeForest, are, you're a legendary status. You once you get to that point.
That's unfortunate because it doesn't pay any money.
When you're young.
Legendary status. Is
When
just-
they say you're a legend,
I
that
still
means
got
two
whacked for
things.
$30 when I
You're
parked
old.
over the white line in the parking lot over here by the city of Lauderdale by the Sea.
Yeah, did you straighten it out this time? Because tell the people the story. What happened?
I went to my car last time after the even keel, and I know I had paid on the app, which I somehow don't have on my new phone yet. But and I like the parking app. You're actually paying a little bit more for the time than you would be if you just shoveled a couple of bucks in a meter. And I don't like using my credit card in those type of apparatus because of the gas
Because
station
you're
thing.
old.
Well, no, the
he's been
gas
jacked
station
like I
thing,
was at the
where
gas
you
station a
get
lot.
your credit card jacked and you got to go through all kinds of gyrations because some slob is, charging up, a new bedroom somewhere in South Africa. And you're like, what? I never was there. So anyway, I parked and I happened to be just grazing the white line. And I was going to straighten it out, and I didn't. And then I got a ticket, and I thought, well, geez.
How much was the ticket?
I ended up having to pay $30 right up
So
the street.
stupid.
Talk about it.
There was no way out. There was no way out.
Exactly.
I
That's
just
like-
paid $6 to park for 2 hours, and
And you live in Lauderdale by the Sea?
right up
Down
the
the
street.
street,
Yeah,
yeah.
a
You
mile
should
on
go
the
there
way.
and say, "Are you guys really that hard up for
I-
cash?"
They're not.
I felt like saying it, but you know what? Did you ever get stopped at south of the border? A legendary stop on the way down.
South Carolina?
When you were driving from New York to Miami for a spring break or something, and south of the border, they had all the signs, so you naturally stopped in there. But there was always that speed trap where it was like 70, 8 miles an hour, 70. And right behind the 8 mile an hour sign was, some guy that looked like he was in a Burt Reynolds movie, a sheriff. And they pulled you over and you either paid or you were screwed.
Yeah, there's a couple of those towns in
Yeah.
Florida. Like when I would drive up to the Florida prison for
Stark, yeah.
I one time went and drove up for an execution, and there's that one town. I don't know if it's Mayo.
Now,
There's a town
were
in
you
Mayo.
assigned to
around
do that,
Tampa.
or did you just go because you wanted to see one?
No, I was.
No.
It was actually a whole.
Because we were
Popcorn.
worried about you.
He's
Let me drive up to Stark and see an execution.
taking pictures.
Back when I was the news columnist
Oh,
for the
okay,
Sun
all right.
Sentinel.
Is it
And
just
there was
as
some
a food critic?
high-profile
Yeah.
executions, and they have for every execution 12 spots reserved for official witness, journalist witnesses, and some of them are assigned based on where.
Could you watch it? I mean, were you able to actually
Yeah.
look at this?
No,
thing? Oh, my
I've witnessed two of them.
Did you
but
want
we're not
to?
going to talk about that.
God. All right.
Well, we could.
That's a little.
So
I
Okay,
actually
where
wrote
is
a
it?
whole piece about it, which I'm waiting to see if a local publication is going to be
Put it out or
publishing
not.
it.
Could
but
be a book in there.
Could be.
Yeah,
Could be.
we're always thinking big here on this
Was
show.
a
this
couple of good
Central
stories.
Florida? Because I did out around Tampa. I remember there was a bridge and it was like 75, and then magically the bridge was 65.
Yeah.
So when I was going 75,
No, this was
I
where
got pulled over around
you
the
go
Tampa
like
area.
up these country
Dirt roads, yeah.
It would be 50, and then all of a sudden it was like 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's just one cop like 10 feet over where the speed limit changes. They pull you right over and say, all right, you could just get
And you
cash,
can pay
credit.
now, yeah. They have one of those
You can
little
pay
things
now.
where you can swipe
You
your
can
credit
pay
card like
now.
a mobile thing, yeah, right there, you know.
And that
Okay,
was always
Barney, yeah.
annoying. It's like, really?
They're
And
like
I
that
think-
here, Lauderdale by the Sea. It's unfortunate because it's a great place to be.
Yeah, we love it here.
And look at this atmosphere, fantastic. Even in the rain, it's great.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. I love my place. I love walking across the street to the beach. But when it comes to these kind of things, they're
Municipalities,
really,
yeah.
I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. And the lady was
Some
listening
of
to
these
no
muni-
reason over here at the
These
town hall.
municipalities, they're a little bit hard up for revenue, and I see it in different things where, when they start going, the parking meters, it used to be like from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
and now it's 24/7, 365.
Yep.
You can't even walk to pay, and you already
Right,
have a
they
ticket on
already-
your car,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
hey, whoa.
They have an eye in the sky. It's just it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
I do
Shouldn't
remember.
stop you from coming here, though. That's
No.
for sure.
I
Yeah.
mean,
No,
it's
you pay your
everywhere.
fee,
It's
you're
all
good.
over South Florida.
Yeah.
It's a universal thing. So, and even if you move to a smaller town, like someplace in North Carolina, there's usually a speed trap, so they'll get you
100%.
coming or going. I remember I always used to drive up and down, and there was one stretch that there was always the state troopers.
Yeah.
And I think the town was called like Micro.
Did you ever
North
try
Carolina?
this approach?
Small town.
When
but
you
it's
got
micro,
stopped and
yeah.
saying, you really look funny in that stupid hat as an intro? Or do you just go, yes, sir?
See, I'm always nervous and I say whatever, and they think I'm
You might be the
worse
type
because
to
I'm
say-
neurotic. They're always like, "Oh, this guy's doing something." It's like, "No, I'm scared of you."
It's like, what are you escorting Bobby Bowden off the field later? I mean, what are you wearing that dumb old
What a
hat for?
stupid-ass hat.
It's like, where's
That gets
Smokey?
you. That gets you in
Where's
trouble.
Jackie Gleason?
That was always
Where's
me with the big wise guy mouth. You know, always got
Smokey
my-
and the Bandit. What'd you think of that?
it was very, very appropriate. I was a big Burt
Very
Reynolds fan,
appropriate.
you know, and it really depicted exactly what the Deep South is all about. There's no doubt about it. And then when I came here, I realized that there was a lot of truth and relevance to that movie. I'm looking at this menu though here, and I'm still amazed, you know, that they're able to do this at the prices they do, with the quality of ingredients. And the other thing that always freaks me out when we come here, and you're talking to Brad, I'm kind of listening in. I'm like, this guy pays such attention to detail when it comes to, and you would appreciate this more than we would, because I mean, when he starts mentioning particular spices and things, it's like, you know,
Yeah,
I
I get
eat this
into my
stuff. It
foodie
just
mode.
tastes great. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it really gets you into a real dissection of what this guy's doing to
I
make
love
everything
this place
taste great.
because it's the perfect combination of Florida beach casual
Yeah.
with still like elevated cuisine, guys that know what they're doing, that've been around. And, you know, I was gushing,
look at that thing.
I was gushing praise for Pushkar Marath last week and his stage. Well, Pushkar worked with Brad and Dave back in the day at Dean James Matz is kind of like the mentor of all these guys. He's kind of a retired chef and restaurateur now who back in the day was operating 3030 Ocean at the Harbor Beach Marriott, which was like, it's turned out to be this incredible incubator of culinary talent, including our friend Jeremy Ford down in Miami. And now he's got a Michelin star restaurant, Stubborn Seed. Pushkar Marath, who's worked at some great places and now is killing it up at Stage. Brad and Dave, they came here. And even though it's this kind of casual place where you could kind of come in flip-flops and your shorts.
You got a Keys environment right here in Fort Lauderdale.
And you got the beautiful bar, and they had garnishing drinks like this. And Brad is going to come out. He's going to showcase one of his autumn dishes, I guess, scallops with a kind of a more of a autumnal preparation. And I'm
Nice.
always looking forward to that because
That's good. And, you know, Lubie and I, you know, I mean, we've been to a lot of places, and we love it when we get to repeat doing a lunchbox out at a live location here. And we love all of our sponsors and the people that we've come across. But we were so impressed with that, you know, the fish and chips last time.
a beer batter.
Oh, the
fish
fish and
and
that
chips
red
was
were
stripe.
great.
That was truly amazing.
So
you
if
know.
you
all
ever feel
their-
like bringing that out,
I have not had a bad dish here. I mean, it's
No,
kind of
no,
like
obviously.
it's kind of like going to New Orleans. It's hard to find a bad meal. It's
Yeah,
hard to
really.
come to even keel and get a forget bad. I mean, even less than good. It's everything is at that top quality level. And
so I don't mean to spark something. I do see that they have stone crabs, and those
Yeah.
feel like really competitive prices. But again,
Large
I-
20, jumbos,
I don't understand
3.7.
what the pricing means when it comes to stone crabs.
Yeah.
So the fact that they have them, that seems like it's a lot better than a lot
well,
of the
they're
places around
seasonal
town.
here. They always adjust to the season. So when it's stone crab season, and they pride themselves on their raw bar, they get all of these fresh oysters in, and they have them shucked on the half shell. And every Tuesday night, they're $2 for all the premium ones. The value here is you come out on happy hour,
Happy
4
hour
to
is
7, all these reasonably priced cocktails and appetizer and small plates like the Bang Bang shrimp. And then you come out on the weekend, and they have the weekend brunch, which is also a great,
I haven't
fantastic
tried it. We got to do it.
menu. And they have, if you're so inclined, the bottomless drinks where you get all the Bloody Marys or some of the frozen cocktails that they have in the machines or the mimosas. I'm not sure what they're charging
the
now. I
price,
don't know if
yeah.
it's 25 or 20. I'll ask Brad. But again, if you're so inclined, you can definitely make up with the amount that they're charging just by having a few drinks.
Oh,
but
yeah.
make sure you have a designated driver or Uber on
It's
your
a good spot
phone.
for it, too. I mean, they got great scenery. I just saw some guy skating by like he was Dick Button on a pair of roller skates. And you got all kinds of activity going on here. Lauderdale by the Sea. This happens to be one of the really, really terrific spots here, not only for dining, but just for hanging out here in South Florida, where you do have some old classics like Aruba. And somebody was very complimentary about the sandwich place. And then the pizza place, I guess, got some rave reviews lately on Let's Eat South Florida. Yeah.
The Capricoso, the
My friends love that place across the street. And
Jim Sarney loves that place
Yeah.
across the street. Taco Craft, co-owned by our friend Anthony Bruno, and
High-end
Mark
ice
Falsetto.
cream and candies
Oh,
here.
yeah,
You know, they got a couple
Billy
places.
Jack Shack, and again, there's plenty to go around. Lots of people come check it out, try different places, and when you're in the mood for top-notch seafood, you stop into Even Keel. I love the fact that they welcome us every month and showcase a different dish, and we
Always good.
have all this good
Yeah.
stuff. And I got to tell you, that shrimp that in the
That looked
Bloody
nice.
Mary,
That was
absolutely
laced.
delicious.
Yeah,
Laced with Old
that's
Bay
your favorite
seasoning.
word now, laced. I like
He
that.
did that. I love
Yeah.
that
Laced with
the
sarcasm.
use of food verbiage by Defo. Truly impressive. He's rising up the depth charts again. I think he's going to leapfrog.
I mean, when you put
Lubie
Lubie
again.
ahead of me, that really was
Yeah, that
embarrassing
was,
for me
uh,
after
you
being
know,
in this business as long as I have.
sometimes I got a lot of fire under the, like I got to pull a Nick
There you
Saban and
go,
just
there
start
you
going
go.
crazy
Start
on the
going
sideline.
nuts.
Saying, what are you doing, Defo? Come on.
You stupid 17-year-old kid.
Exactly.
You got to throttle him.
Nick
sometimes to
70
get their
making $80
attention.
million a year, and his poor kid misses a snap, and
Yeah.
drops it.
So a couple of things I wanted to get to before Brad comes out and regales us with some of his beautiful cooking. But we're doing another remote this week. It's a triple header for us. We had
Yeah.
the great birthday celebration just
Thank you
down
again.
the
That was a
block.
blast.
at
Frankie
the
was brilliant that
Frank
day.
Talarico and the Ocean Manor Hotel there
was a
on
great
Walt
time.
Ocean Mile, the Bamboo Beach Tiki Bar,
and cafe.
Lounge
Yeah.
Cafe. That was great.
It's Bamboo Beach. Just short
it's
enough
just
to Bamboo
BB.
Beach.
BB at the beach.
Bamboo,
And-
whatever you want to call it.
and here we are now at Even Keel. Friday, we're getting kind of a sneak preview of the new Frank Pepe Pizza Napolitana, famous classic pizzeria from New Haven, Connecticut.
Is that
is
through
now-
your Mohan connections or your own?
No, this is my own
All right.
connections.
Mayo.
We got, people are reaching out. They always want that
He's a
the
respected man.
lunchbox touch and bounce.
A heavy
But,
hammer, people. A sledgehammer.
And the
wheels.
thing is, so their grand opening to the public is next Monday, the 24th. However, if you want to come out and see us do the live lunchbox on Friday, the restaurant is kind of what do they call it? Soft
It's
open,
Soft opening,
soft
where friends, family, and other
I was always a
assorted-
big
Okay,
fan
so
of
let me
being
ask
an
you-
attendee
Yeah.
at those.
We'll do this live on air because that's what we've done for over 12 years. My dad just went on to do the thing you were telling me to do, and
Yes.
we're going to tell people now to do. He signed up for Monday.
Monday they're going to start charging
That's
him.
what I was trying
Okay.
to tell him. Okay,
This, if you want to get, this is a deal, folks.
Probably not the best time
Reserve
to go for your
It's
tickets
fine,
family.
but it's
right
not
for the
free.
Thursday or Friday, because when I looked just a half hour ago, there was still availability. Here's what you want to do. You want to go to opentable.com and then search for Pepe Pizzeria in Plantation. And if you click on Thursday, that's tomorrow, would be October 20th, or Friday, October 21st, and click on either 2 or 3 or 4 people, you can get a spot. There's limited spots available. Just go to opentable.com and do a search for Frank Pepe Pizzeria. I'm going to put the link down below the stream.
Yeah,
When
on
the
Facebook.
show is over, I'm going to put the link up so that you could click directly on to see if there's any slots available. First come, first serve. This is not a contest. We don't need to run any disclaimers. This is open to anybody in the
Yeah.
public. If you go into Open Table, the Pepe Pizza is having
Soft
kind
opening.
of soft opening, friends and family with, if you're a party of 2 and you get a spot, you're going to get a pizza, I think maybe with a topping, a salad, a dessert, and soft drinks.
Wow.
All they ask of you to get this great deal is just leave a gratuity, a generous tip
Yeah,
to
for
your
your
server.
Yeah.
If they happen to get their liquor license before Thursday, Friday, because they're waiting on it any minute now.
Yeah.
But if you get a if they get the liquor license and you order a beer, wine, or a cocktail, that you'll have to pay for.
Yeah,
They're
okay.
not giving out the comp
More
liquor.
than fair.
Makes sense.
But again, go to opentable.com, search for Pepe Pizzeria in Plantation, Florida, and when you click on boxes availability for tomorrow and Friday, if you get in there, you're going to get what they call a soft opening friends and family meal on the house, because they're kind of doing a drill just to make sure their ovens are firing properly, make sure the service staff is trained. And please, if you don't have the greatest experience, which everybody's going to have a good
It's
time
open.
out there,
Yeah.
don't go on Let's Eat and start complaining about a free meal.
Oh,
'cause
no,
that's
free
just
meal.
bad
Yeah.
form.
I was part of many a soft opening when I was a waiter in the business here. I opened up a couple of places that were just getting going. One, a steak and brew in Syracuse, and then later on this Dar Maghreb, very interesting place out in Los Angeles.
Was it the Moroccan?
Restaurant, fantastic. I mean, we did great there, and probably per the time and inflation and all of that, maybe one of the highest paying jobs I ever had. as being a waiter in his restaurant. But and that it encompasses some decent salaries I made here in the local media. But it was always great. I mean, especially if you were invited, because a lot of times they would have the staff serve the staff.
Oh,
and that was one of my favorite things, because you're coming in there now having like this very elegant meal. And even if the guy made a few stupid bozoic mistakes or, the kitchen, that's why they're having this thing.
Yep.
So, I mean, you have to take your critic hat off at that point. Maybe rate the food, but, you can't be overwhelmingly condescending about stuff not going as smoothly, because that's exactly why they have you there in the first.
Right. They're trying to work out the kinks. It's like spring training in baseball.
Yep.
We have some things we have to clean up. That's what.
Well,
Coach
my buddy,
says
and he now owns gyms, but owned a place called Brother Jimmy's, which was a barbecue place that was in New York, came down here. It was in Brickell, and they had us for that. And he actually wanted the criticism. Just don't put it out to the world, because the idea of the soft opening is we're trying to work out the issues. So let us know where we have issues, but don't be hard on us. Just be honest, so that when we finally open for everyone else, we can have it like what you tried to do with your columns that wasn't always accepted. But you try not to be harsh. You try to just be honest. Look, I like this. This they could work on.
Right. Yeah, you give a constructive criticism, positive feedback, saying
not always well received by the owners, though.
Yeah.
Did you see the way Frankie Tallarico looked at Mayo when he sat down with him, and he was like, I've seen Frankie stand up to guys that look pretty scary, honestly, especially in the early days of when he owned the Ocean Manor, and the guys from Buffalo were in there, and they all had the pinky rings and everything, and we're like, Frankie, man, who were these guys? They looked like Luca Brasi, man.
That was the funniest thing.
And what did you see?
No problem. Like, doesn't even flinch. Like, no sweat.
Fear or intimidation in his eyes?
Oh my God! I said,
I tell people, like, sometimes
you wield a
bark,
heavy,
but I don't
heavy
bite.
whistle.
I'll the only thing I'll bite is those grouper bites. Though that was good.
You'd have Rodney,
the food was great,
Irvin, Visser Mama, and he wouldn't bat an eye. His face was white until you bit into that pizza. He was freaking out.
When you finally gave it the thumbs up,
he was like, "Oh, thank God!"
The thing is, when I see that balsamic drizzle in a lot of places, it's overly sweet. They put too much of it. But that whatever balsamic they were using,
that was the last thing I noticed
for
about
that chicken marsala was like it was not too sweet. It was
good.
Well balanced.
It was nice.
Us critics, we just love balance, and when
honestly, their regular pizza there is as good as any
it's really
pizza
good.
you're going to get. I mean, that's always surprising in that
look,
kind of environment.
We love pizza here. We love the Pizza Spot, our fine sponsor, Wade Reese, and they were kind of the forerunners in this local area of the New Haven Pizza, and they're still
Your
cranking
boy
out
Joe
the pies.
Casallo is thrilled about these Pepe's guys.
Yeah,
We'll see,
Pepe's
we'll see what they
west.
do, and there's plenty of mouths to feed around here.
Exactly.
So Pizza Spot. Wade just put in the second oven there.
He's got a unique location.
He needed
for this,
that, increase his capacity when he has prime time and football games. And at one point, you can't crowd the oven because it makes the pizza soggy and it doesn't come out right.
Yeah, it takes longer.
So he only likes to have 3 at a time in the oven. So now he's got 6 at a time, and he only needs to fire them for about 4 minutes or so.
In the restaurant business, the extra, additional people that are doing sort of similar things in other areas only enhances the interest in the product.
Oh, yeah. And I think
so it's likely to
sample,
benefit everybody in the long run.
Yeah, you want to try and say, all right, how
Brad
do they
says
do it
this all the time,
differently? And a rising tide lifts all
Mayo's
boats.
talked about this a lot.
The more the merrier, and it's not a zero-sum game. Pizza Spot has great pizza. That doesn't mean that Frank Pepe can't have good pizza too.
Oh, no doubt.
It's not like, if he takes up all the good quality. No, it's like this, that anybody can do a great job, and that's what we love to see.
I have a restaurant news bulletin for you that I picked up at the track the other day, and
Breaking news.
it concerns the area right here. The guy that we know as the Wireman is no longer the night manager at Vinny's, 2 stores down.
Wire.
I saw the Wireman, and he was the original guy that you would hear yelling, Wire, which we had great success
This
with.
is at the track when your horse is
For
ahead
horses.
with
Right.
about 70
And
yards
you're
to go, and
screaming
it
for the
looks
finish
like
line.
he's fading.
It's known as the Wire,
and you
and
just start screaming.
Everybody's yelling, Wire! So the Wireman, we were shocked to know he had a background in the restaurant industry when we saw him here, Jersey Kyle and I, a couple of months ago at Vinny's, which is very popular.
Yeah.
And the Wireman, he said he's no longer there. So I wanted to make sure that people knew they had a bad experience at Vinny's, which most people love the place, that it wasn't the fault of the Wireman.
Right,
he was an advocate.
I got more news coming later about La Tub, which I'm going to tonight. It's kind of a farewell by the current owners. And there is going to be some changes afoot, I hear, but not for a while. But that's La Tub, which is a very polarizing place.
You got to tell us about Tropical Acres.
Well,
last night.
now, before we take our first break, I got to tell you about talk about great value and great hospitality. Our great sponsors.
Was Jack on the scene?
Studio Alley. No, Jack is on a cruise up the Mississippi River.
Oh,
It's
good for
ending in
him.
New Orleans.
God bless him. I hope he's watching
his
the show.
sons, Joe and Jackson, were running the show last night, doing a fine job. Went in there with our friends from the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, and we're going to be doing some work in conjunction with them for the upcoming fest, which is going to be in January.
Mayo nailing down
he
business
works
at
it. Yeah, he's
Tropical
great.
Acres. Way to go, kid.
Phil and Kate were nice enough. I got the better end of this deal. I met him at the bar. I picked up the bar tab.
Oh,
it was
nice.
happy hour.
I always do
you
that
gotta get
move.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
Guess the
That's the
price.
best
This was
move.
ridiculous. I
That's
had
the
my
best move
standard
ever.
Belvedere martini.
Right.
That's 7.
Kate had a dirty martini made with Tito's,
Five
and
seven.
Phil just had a Tito's and club soda.
So 21.
Guess
Another
how
seven.
much the bar tab
Should be
was?
21.
21.
Or 22. Whatever.
$19.
What? It was less than 7.
Less money for the
Because
martini
it's
at
half
discount.
price happy hour, 4:30 to 6:30 in the bar on all brands.
Wow.
Yeah.
So my Belvedere usually goes for 14 and change.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Theirs
Tito's is
usually go
less.
for
Wow.
12, so they got it for 6 and change.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Where have you gone to see
Not
three
nowhere.
drinks?
3
You
drinks
could-
for 20.
3 drinks for under
Not
20.
a nice place, especially it's a nice place.
And I gave him the 30.
You can't even get 4
Russell,
seltzers for 20 at the Hard Rock.
I felt so guilty that it was so underpriced.
I
I
went
threw
right
the
by him. I went
bartender
right by him, man.
$30. I was just in the zone.
Well, good
I'm
for you,
sorry.
because it was a jerk move by him. So
Yeah.
good for you.
4 seltzers for 20 at the Rock, or 3 martinis at Tropical Acres.
But the best
Okay.
price, the Houston's, the Bloody Mary special for $0 for 0 Bloody Marys during the
Nice,
week.
nice,
so
nice.
Wait, so did you guys still sit down and have dinner?
yeah, we
I
had
think
a
this thing is
beautiful.
good.
Oh,
to
so
you. I like
because
it,
you
yeah.
went for that tab, they
Well, they said,
felt
well, we
bad
got-
not
Take that
going
to
for
dinner.
dinner tab? Are you kidding me?
Nice move,
half
man.
price wine night had a beautiful bottle of this Camus. It's
Yeah,
a
they have a
different
nice
one, a
Camus.
petite
Wow,
Syrah.
wow,
It's
wow.
a petite
I
Syrah
like
that
petite
Camus
Syrah.
puts
That's
out.
high-end
It was
stuff.
for $31
It's a nice one.
for the half price wine.
Wow.
I had a filet mignon and sirloin steak for Kate. And
did the lobster?
Phil had the pork chop, the Berkshire pork chop
Ooh,
there.
that's
It looked
interesting.
delicious. I've never had it there. We were so happy. We walked out.
Your
of there.
1,000 visits to Tropical Acres, you never
I've
had
never heard of
the
the
pork
pork
chop?
chop.
You
No,
love that.
because I always get either the
You
Yeah,
are
the
a
filet.
little bit of a curmudgeon-like creature
No,
of habit.
I-
I mean, for
There's
those
certain things there that
making accusations and assertions about other people's
do need to-
open-mindedness.
I need to
Did
expand
you judge
my
that? Wait,
horizons.
that's a question, and we love Tropical Acres. Did you do the thing you did with Defo where, like, did you really just get the pork chop? Like,
No,
is
no,
that
no.
what you did?
Phil says he's had it before. He's a regular. They live in Hollywood, and he said he's been going there since he was 8 years old
Oh,
with
that's
his
amazing.
family.
So he's a
Good
smart
So-
guy. Yeah.
So he.
These guys, they know
Why
what
is he
they're
hanging
doing.
out with you?
We love the Fort Lauderdale. We love Visit Lauderdale. Nikki Mohan is going to hopefully be out there on
Friday,
Friday
that'd
with
be
us
great.
at Pepe's, and then Phil and Kate running the Great Food Festival, which has really grown and it's really taken off, and that's going to be great.
That thing was a lot
and-
of fun, that
and they-
barbecue thing last
Yeah,
night.
we're going to be doing
I
the
love that.
barbecue
Yeah.
event. They have a cocktail event on Wednesday. I'm going to be judging. I'm going to be helping judging on the barbecue event, and then the grand tasting is that Saturday at that Las Olas Riverfront Park. Oceanfront Park.
Well, that
there.
park.
Yeah, the
Yeah, it's
park right
beautiful.
on
That
A1A
place
in
is
the
fun.
ocean, right across from the Elbow Room, and big news there. They sold out, completely sold out of VIP tickets.
Really?
The
That's impressive.
tasting. It's not that Saturday. I think it's January 14th. All day at the beach is the only thing left is the general admission, which is a great deal too. They're going to have all kinds of great vendors, restaurants, cocktails set up there. These guys, Brand Dave, usually take part.
Nice.
So the Even Keel will be
Yeah, we can
hopefully out
broadcast there and
and
stuff. That'd be fun.
yeah, so looking forward to doing a lot of work with them. Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road. Go there. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you, and you'll get all the details on the tape commercial coming up later in the show. But we love them so much.
All right, we got Brad coming up here. I always love when you talk to Brad
Yeah,
here on the
Brad's the
show.
best.
So we'll make way for that. And we have a lot more coming up from the Even Keel Fish Shack here. Pouring rain all of a sudden, but good time to get out here, get in
Feels
outside.
great.
I don't feel a drop.
It feels great.
absolutely
Except for my
fantastic.
glass. That's good.
And great food and drink on tap. So looking forward to being here at Even Keel Fish Shack, and more to Lunchbox in a moment.
You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, Even Keel Fish Shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. Then there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent.
We're back. Today's young. We're back on the Lunchbox. A little bit of a rainy day, but that's okay. The front's going to move through. The sun's going to come out. We got cool
It's
air.
summer. It's September in Ohio right now in Florida.
Yeah, that's look. I love anything that kind of suggests that there's a change of seasons in South Florida. It's nice to get a break from the humidity. We're here at Even Keel Fish Shack, Lauderdale by the Sea, joined as always for our monthly visit by Chef Brad. How are you today, Brad?
Good, very good. Yeah, you walk outside this morning. There's humidity just went away, so it feels really really nice. Yeah, rain or shine, we're still here cranking away at Even Keel.
You got covered spaces, and I'm not getting wet.
Right.
In fact, the only thing I'm getting wet is
He's
on
getting
the
a little
inside.
blasted, I think, off that one Bloody Mary.
Yeah, right. This was a fantastically garnished drink. Tell me about the bacon again. It comes from
it's called Benton's bacon from northwestern Tennessee. It's actually a really really great story. There's some really cool videos online about it. It takes about 3 weeks to go belly to a slab of bacon. Between the smoking and the great part is that when we get it delivered, they don't add any. There's no ice packs in their box. There's no. It's been so cured and preserved that even in September, when it's 150 degrees outside, they drop it off and it's been sweating. It's actually a fat and it starts melting away. Wow. But they don't have to worry about that because it's been cured and salted so much, cured and smoked so much. So
absolutely delicious, smoky flavor.
It's got such a different smoked pork flavor that you can't get it in the grocery store. I'll tell you that.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
And, it goes 2 weeks to cure it, and it takes about
a week to smoke. Yeah.
A week to smoke.
I think they salt it. They salt it for a week, then they smoke it for a week, then they hang it for a week.
And it takes about 2 minutes for it to turn into plaque inside my heart.
Exactly.
But that's okay. Moderation. All right, what else have you brought out
I beat
for
Mayo
us?
to the food today.
I know you did. I was actually really impressed, Jeff.
Yeah.
That was a first for me to see.
Yeah.
But no, with the weather kind of changing and with us getting into finally fall here.
Ooh,
I know it's
love
almost
wearing long
November,
sleeves.
but it's finally getting into fall in South Florida. We've been playing with the menu. Tristan and Dave and I kind of been playing around with the new menu items. So. We don't really change the protein so much. Of course, what our farmers and fishermen are sending us, we change that up. But it's more for us is to change the garnish. So you got some really, really nice Brussels sprouts that we season with a nam cham, which is like a Vietnamese
fish sauce,
right?
which doesn't
Delicious.
have fish in it.
Absolutely amazing.
It's got fish sauce in it,
right?
Which is preserved fish juice.
Okay.
But yeah, but again, just the Brussels sprouts with it being fall.
And it
It's
gives
kind of
that
our little
great
twist on it.
umami
Yeah,
flavor.
yes.
Chefs love
Yeah,
umami.
it's got a sour but sweet kind of taste to it, and then we put a little cashews on top. Yeah,
But the crunch, because Defo knows you got to have.
Oh,
the
he
crunch.
loves the
yeah,
crunch.
you can't have.
These are like everything here,
Yeah.
very different, but
Yeah.
beautifully done.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jeff.
You won't
Yeah.
find this anywhere else.
Homage to my mom. I think she's maybe even watching. She's the sweetest person on the planet, and she tried so hard when growing up. I mean, you can imagine cooking
to make you eat
for
your
my. I have an
vegetables?
older brother that we're about the same size, and we've been eating about the same since we were 1. So, she would put Brussels sprouts on the stove and just let them boil for a good half hour. But it never
Would you
deterred
eat
me. I
them?
still. Oh yeah, I loved
Oh, you did?
anything. Oh yeah.
I thought
It
in
never
Ohio,
mattered.
The only vegetable people ate were French fries or something.
No.
These are fantastic.
Yeah,
And I'm a
they're so
big
good.
fan of the Brussels sprout dish.
Yeah.
Part of it,
Yeah.
as good as you'll find anywhere.
Yeah,
Absolutely
thank you,
amazing.
Jeff. Thank you, man. Yeah,
Delicious.
again, it's like we said, it's all about the details of stuff. Everybody can cook food. That's what makes it makes you want to stand out from everybody else. But then with the scallops, so our scallops, they come from Nantucket.
I'm all in on that.
Yeah, it's a really pretty plate. Just a bunch of different fall garnish for South Florida. We got braised mushrooms. There's some really nice heirloom carrots, some radish, and then the bottom is a butternut squash with 5 spice.
Wow.
Sometimes you get
orange.
scallops and you have to look at them under an electron microscope. to see the actual
No. These are
scallop. These are fantastic.
we go all out. These are from Nantucket. They get overnighted to us all year round. They're insanely good. There's actually a little bit of broccoli rabe on the bottom, which you
Send
can't,
one around
you can't
here,
see.
Mike.
Yeah.
But what I'm going
for
to do,
sure.
because I don't want to offend Defo, I'm going to use a toothpick.
He's actually
here.
using a utensil
I'm
today.
I'm
I'm
using
not-
a toothpick. It's
I'm
not
not
going to
sure.
Now, did the
Mike,
health
it's-
department
Mike,
send you any letters after his
I
last
have. I've
appearance here?
actually forwarded
But this
directly
one is
to Mike,
mine.
letting him know
I'll get
exactly
that.
what
Oh,
the
great.
situation is.
Here, take
He's
that
doling these
down.
out,
It's like
yeah,
a
yeah.
little
you gotta get the mushroom in there, yeah,
hors
yeah.
d'oeuvre there. You can
But,
get that.
Very
Yeah,
nice,
no,
man.
go for it.
No, you guys eat. And actually put a little crispy chicken skin. That's actually like a chicken
Oh wow.
pork. It's like a pork rind, but a chicken rind.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
It's like chicken skin.
Oh, these are great, man.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
look at those.
Yeah, a little crispy
Look at
chicken
that.
skin.
That's the kind of touch you don't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it takes it to that otherworldly dimension where
Yeah.
it's like, oh wow, I got a little crispy piece
And
of.
somebody might not even
fat.
know. You might actually think that it was pork, but it's not. It's
Yeah,
actually
it
chicken.
Looks like,
it's
it looks
actually
like
chicken.
a chicharron.
Yeah,
it looks
yeah,
like
right,
a crackling.
Right.
I'm gonna go in here for this one.
So it's
That's
fun. I mean,
fantastic.
like I said, with the fall, with the seasons in South Florida can be so different. I grew up in the Midwest, and it's very obvious come September 1st that it's fall time. But you don't. Here we are, almost in November, and you walk outside, and it's finally it's not summer anymore. So
That's a home run right there.
yeah, thank you, man.
This dish, the way it looks, the way it tastes,
Oh my God.
it's green.
Now, what's in
as
this
fall.
sauce that you
So
put together with
that's
them?
that's a roasted butternut squash. We
Nice.
put I think Tristan might have put a touch of miso in that too. Well, mostly for seasoning, a very light flavor, but a little bit of 5 spice, a little bit of cinnamon, touch of heavy cream. Not a lot. We don't go too crazy with
Not
with
messing
the
around.
ingredients.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
God,
let
that's
the ingredients speak
fantastic,
for
yeah.
themselves.
That chicken crackling is like crack. That's
Yeah.
unbelievable. That's
It's
so
so
good.
good.
That goes
It's so good.
so well with the briny essence of the
Yeah,
sea with the scallop.
Right, and I actually put a little bit of the Benton's bacon in there too. So you got bacon, you got a little smoky, creamy, the really nice texture from the scallops. Again, we're chefs. We will always be chefs. And again, my mom could speak to this too when I was 2 years old. But I always thinking about food. So whatever we could do to change stuff up or make improvements, or
You and me are very similar. I'm always thinking about food, but you actually know how to prepare it.
yeah. You just tell me what you want, and
Oh my God.
I'll work around
That bite in combination together.
it. Yeah.
And excuse me, because I'm totally rude. I'm talking with my mouth full. I'm eating and
That's
You
doing
can't
okay,
help
Mike.
yourself.
That-
You
that
know
means
what?
it- that means
you
I
get
know
a
it's
pass
good.
today, Mike Mayo.
Oh my God, it's
Yeah.
so good. People, if you like seafood, you got to come out
Ah,
here.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right here in the
It's okay,
corner,
Mike,
A1A
it's okay,
commercial.
I need a moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're always
Anybody got a
changing.
cigarette? I got.
We're always changing stuff up. The nice thing is, Dave and I, we put our menu online mostly, so we have it's at our fingertips. Whatever we decide to change, I could walk away from the show right now and decide to come up with something. And
Tell me a little bit about the weekend brunch because I haven't been here for a while. I don't know if you changed any menu items. And what's the bottomless situation? How much for the
bottomless
drinks?
mimosa, bottomless Bloody Marys.
That's for 25
yeah,
or-
20. Yeah,
25. Okay.
and yeah, you can't go wrong.
25 for
Can't go wrong
bottomless
with that.
Bloody
Yeah,
Marys along
yeah.
those lines. Wow.
Yeah, so it's really fun. We haven't really changed a whole lot. We put some banana pancakes, but Dave makes this incredible like salty caramel for the pancakes, which is really great. We got the lobster Benedict, we've got the salmon toast, we've got The fisherman breakfast, which is in everybody's breakfast. It's eggs any style, potatoes, bacon, but we put a really nice crab cake on the plate as well. But it's just fun. It's just fun. The atmosphere. We're going to eventually start. I think we're going to start live music for dinner here next weekend. Next weekend, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Cool. Everybody hangs out.
Yeah,
outside.
we'll have a guy actually sitting right on the other side of the monitor with an acoustic guitar, just jamming out. And then we're probably going to start bringing that back for brunch too. So
awesome. Hey, let me ask you: it's stone crab season officially here. I see that you have them on the menu.
They pulled traps Monday, which is kind of crazy, funny story. And I didn't remember this from last year, but they didn't have any medium-sized claws. You would know this. They didn't have any medium-sized claws because the traps have been sitting for all season. So when they had to go back, they actually replaced the traps and went back and caught some stoners. So we got jumbo, mediums, and large in the restaurant.
As a chef, are you disappointed when somebody orders stone crab because it's the most all you do is pack them and you throw them out?
Again, I appreciate all food, and it's so funny that you said that because I literally just was talking about that for the consumer. It's you have to really, really love it. I just the price is always and I will attest and Dave and I again talked about this. There's a markup to food. You know what I mean? That's how restaurants make their money, rather than having everybody cook at a grocery store. But for stone crab, we don't mark ours up at all. You know, I mean, we're not making any money on it. It's just it's part of the experience for our customers. We want to be able to offer it our seafood leader
so that people come in and try some of the other things.
It's just they're so expensive. You know, and I get they're a delicacy in South Florida. I get it, all that kind of stuff. I wish they weren't expensive.
Down because when I first moved here, and Defo was saying,
but a price overrated, I believe at this point.
I don't know. Again,
I would rather go get a main lobster at that.
It's part of the experience, and you get people that'll walk in that will eat a dozen.
If you're a tourist and you just are coming into town, you got to try it.
You got to try it.
It's an iconic South Florida food.
Right, exactly. And we don't have a lot of that. I mean, for South Florida, I mean, mahi, is on the West Coast, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you could go back and forth, whatever. But stone crab is the one thing that is iconic for here.
The buffalo chicken wing of South Florida. It's the buffalo. About 100 times the price.
Should be the Miami stone crabs. Should be the Miami stone crabs.
It has really escalated though, out of control.
Let me ask you this also. Do you ever try to play around and use stone crab in a dish and warm it up?
Not really. They're so expensive. But I will say, I will say that we make a homemade honey mustard, which is traditional. But we actually make a really nice dill aioli, so we can make accompaniments to go with the stone crab. You know, if somebody wants them warmed up, we can actually steam them and serve them with a little bit of drawn butter.
Do you ever even poach them in warm butter or
we have the really nice Fresno butter that if somebody wanted to, if somebody wants to, like, hey, if somebody knows me and knows even Keel, hey, Brad, warm these up and make something yummy with it, then I will come up with something good for
you. Remember the Fresno butter from
this lobster roll?
Oh yeah.
So
that was
imagine
fantastic.
dunking a little sweet stone crab meat in that.
Sweet stone crab and a buttery spice. Yeah,
I agree with Defo. It's become more of a delicacy, special occasion. I can't afford it every week.
Right.
Certainly for the holidays and the opening of the season, I do enjoy it. And but for people who are so inclined,
now Jeff, if you walk into a wedding party and somebody's got a whole
I'm grabbing as many as I can.
You're sticking them in your pocket.
You're wetting it. Looks like deadliest catch.
The guy's got a knapsack and he's just shoveling them in.
If I'm not paying, they're the best thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Fantastic. It's like a free voucher you found in a machine.
It's like when we used to get invited to the Super Bowl parties back when I was a sports writer, and they had them. The NFL, they'd have this mountain of jumbo shrimp. And I would just come in with a wheelbarrow and just kind of put them out and take it back to the hotel.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you're not the one paying for it, it's the best thing ever.
Beautiful thing.
And occasionally, like you say, I mean, it's a good thing. Even obviously, the local people will go nuts for them.
Right.
You almost have to have them on the menu.
Again, it's part of the experience. I mean, we have a seafood restaurant in South Florida. You can't not have them. And we do our best to make them as affordable as possible from what we have to pay our fishermen to what the customers have to pay.
As always, a beautiful. Just you hit us with some beautiful plates.
I love having you guys here. It's so fun for me.
I love doing the show here. I love
great.
coming here. I recommend it to everybody who's coming in from out of town or just get back into town as a snowbird. We love Even Keel Fish Shack, corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard, Lauderdale by the Sea. One quick question. Are you hopefully going to be taking part in the food festival, the Visit Lauderdale?
We are.
Festival?
We are. We're Paula and I. You remember Paula De Silva, right? From the Ritz Carlton. Yeah. We're in communication with her. We're kind of getting stuff set up.
You going to be doing a special dinner?
Dave and I are. I think we're going to be doing the large the grand tasting thing. I'm not sure. Yeah. So we haven't come up with a plate yet.
So
are you really?
I'm open to bribes. No.
It's all. What do you think this is, Mike? Come on. Well, what do you think that is?
Your food can rest on its merits. You don't need any extra grease supply. But,
Thank you, bud.
No, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be in January.
It's going to be
We're
really,
gonna
really great.
Celebrate.
Yeah, so we haven't come up with our item yet, but we're
I'm sure
signed up for
good.
it. Yeah.
Clams carbonara with the pasta.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's going
The
to be
only
a
problem
winner.
with that is really good. The only problem with that is to serve that to 1,000 people.
Yeah,
That's
the pasta gets a little mushy.
Yeah.
after a while, So
we'll come up with something.
I'm sure you will. All right, Brad. Thanks
Always
so
great,
much.
man.
We
Thank
got
you,
to take
guys.
our
Thank you.
final
Fantastic.
break. But everybody, come check out Even Keel Fish Shack, Lauderdale by the Sea,
Order the Brussels sprouts.
and the Scout.
Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
And here
We're
we
all
are.
still eating. Yeah, we're all still
You
eating.
got me with my mouth full. Man, are those Brussels sprouts
That,
good?
that is a great
That
presentation.
nam sok. This is your food lesson of the day.
Yeah.
People. Nam sok, Vietnamese fish sauce.
Yeah.
And I'm just spitting sprouts everywhere.
That's okay, man. That's why I wear a bib when I work next to you on these remotes.
Even when I'm eating fine food, I just manage to drag everything down. I'm just a gross individual.
No, you're approaching a new level, I think, of happiness in your life. If you could do this for a living, Mike Mayo, you did it for many years as a food critic, but you had to go back and write an article. Now you just eat on the fly, rate the food, and say hello to the 90,000 people here.
Yeah,
Let's Eat South Florida.
And it's a beautiful thing that everybody should come out here at some point if you got friends from out of town.
What a great place, huh?
Walk right
It's just a
down to the
great
beach.
atmosphere, great vibe.
And here, I don't know what your dad did, but again, for those of us who
He
wanna-
found it Friday.
Okay, if
Friday
anybody
afternoon.
wants to join us, we're doing a live remote from the new Frank Pepe Pizzeria.
Oh, it's
in
funny. They're going to be doing it right
Plantation.
when we're doing our show.
And again, all you got to do, I'm going to put the link up underneath the broadcast in the comments section of Let's Eat South Florida. But if you go to opentable.com, just do a search for Frank Pepe's of Plantation. And right now, you can join us when we're doing our live remote show, and you get a complimentary meal. Just leave a nice tip. 12:30, 12:45, 1 p.m. available for 2 people. You get a pizza, a salad, dessert, and soft drinks. Go check it out and come join us to celebrate the arrival of a New Haven legend, really iconic Northeastern pizza from Pepe's coming to Plantation. And they're going to join the pizza party that we got so many great pizza places down here. I'm so sick of people from New York, and I'm a Brooklyn boy, saying, "Oh, there's no good pizza in South
that's a
Florida."
load of
A lot
That
of
is
different
complete
stuff, though.
BS.
Yeah,
There's
a lot of
all
different
kinds of
stuff.
styles,
Yeah.
and a lot of it is good.
No, good. Cashew nuts in the Brussels
Yeah, I like
sprouts.
the
A
nuts.
nice little touch.
Ninth edition.
You know
Crunch.
me.
Nice crunch.
Crunch.
These guys, they always think
If
of
it's
the
crunch,
crunch. What's
you're
going to
having
give
it
it the
for lunch.
crunch? Little cashew here.
Yeah.
A lot of crisp, like crackling
There's
chicken skin
carrots.
there.
That was a great presentation.
A
of scallops.
little bit of a celery stalk here,
Fantastic,
and I'm well lubricated and well fed, and I'm very happy. I'm a very happy man. That's
It's good
going to
to
do it
see.
for today.
Boy, it takes a lot to make you happy, but it didn't take much here today. 1 hour at the Even Keel Fish Shack. Come on out, A1A and Commercial Boulevard, Lauderdale by the Sea. Make sure you park within the lines if you're in the city parking lot, and don't go over 5 miles an hour in the immediate area here. But you're going to want to stop in at Even Keel Fish Shack as often as you can.
We love Brad. We love Dave. We
Great
love
job,
Tristan. Everybody here at
Yeah.
Even Keel. And come on out. That's going to do it for today. We'll see you again tomorrow from all our respective man caves.
Will Yankee fans be crying tomorrow?
They
And are
always
Yankee
cry.
fans more in terms of whining
They
than
make
Meghan
it through,
Markle?
and they
That's the
still
question.
just
Yeah.
boom, do this. They're in on.
Oh
They're in
my
it.
God! If
In
they
it to
win
win.
tonight, they'll be complaining.
All right.
It's unbelievable.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again tomorrow, and remember to enjoy every sandwich.